Hey everybody, and welcome back to Mission Control for a feature-focused video. In this video, we're talking about manual record in timeline. You can manually add playbacks to a track as well as create new ones from the timeline view. To manually add playbacks to a track or create a new track, click the Add Item button at the bottom of the timeline view window. As we see here, this will open your Add Item menu. We can do things to start a new track, add a marker, start a new playback, add an existing playback, set the level of a playback, go to a queue of a queue list, preload a playback, which is equivalent of move in dark. You can flash a playback, swap a playback, or wait for go, pause the timeline. So let's take a look at that. Here we are on version 15 of Titan on the Titan Go interface. So the first thing, let's go ahead and start a new timeline. So we'll hit record 4 times. And we see that takes us all the way to the create timeline. And we'll choose this fader here. You can see it already opened up to our timeline window. So we'll go ahead and start with the current track we have, and we'll go ahead and start a new playback. And to do that, so let's go back to our groups and palettes, and we'll close this. So we'll go ahead and select our spiders, and we'll give them a locate, and we'll make them red, give them here, take our BMFLs, locate those, we'll make them blue, and we'll give them this look here. Let's see here, we should be able to see our capture. There we go. And we'll take our Beam 150s and we'll locate those and we'll zoom them small and we'll do this. So say that's the look we like. So now we like it. We can go here on our soft keys and record it at a certain time. Right now it's at 000, so we'll be right at the start. If we had the time clock running and pause, we can have it record at the live time. If it's keyless, we can have it triggers all or create a preload trigger if we wanted it to preload for us. So we're happy with all this. So we'll just go ahead and we'll just put our time at, we'll do it at 2 seconds. And we'll record at the 2 seconds time. So now if we go back to our other view, it has our timeline up. We see it, put a queue in here at 2 seconds. So we can clear out our programmer if we want. And of course we can select one side of it and we could change where it is. Let's see here, we'll select our first. We'll have it fade up a little slower rather than instantly. So we'll put a little bit of fade on it. I'll do something on our out. We'll put a little bit of fade on it. And maybe instead of going to 100, we'll select it all and we'll take it to, so it only goes to 60%, let's say. So other things we can do, we can go back into our add items. We can add existing playback. So we'll go ahead and we'll select, this playback. And we can tell what time we want it to be at. Again, we'll do this one at 5 seconds and reference that time and see that it added there at 5 seconds. So do it again. Actually, first let's go ahead and run our time code and then pause it. So let's say, let it run here for a moment. And we'll pause it there. So now we'll go ahead and hit our plus, and we'll do another existing playback, and we'll do this one. Instead of putting in time, we'll have it reference the live time, which is going to be where our cursor currently is. So go ahead and click that and see that it put it in at our cursor. Go ahead and add another one. We'll do a go to queue. So tell we want to go to this queue list here. And target would be, let's do Q7. And we'll reference it at, use our through button to go to here. And we'll put it at 1, so we'll put it at 1 minute. And reference at 1 minute. Then we can see, we scroll down here over a little bit. You can see at 1 minute it goes to Q7. If we want to add some intensity on that, we can hit our plus button again. And we'll go ahead and set level on this one here. And we'll set our reference time at, 50 seconds. And our level at 50. And so we'll reference that at 5 there. We see it put it in at 50%. So this queue list will come up to 50% when it reaches 50 seconds. Let's say on our cue list 7, I want Q6 to preload before the fader comes up here. So what we can do is we go and hit our plus button again, and then preload a playback, and select this one, and we'll do our time at 45, and we'll set that. And we see that at 45 seconds, it's going to preload the cues to be able to be ready to come up here. We can go and hit our plus button again, and say we want to add a flash for our blinders here. And we're going to do that one at, 30 seconds. And our flash mode will be flash. We can have that be timed flash, flash and go, timed flash and go, or back to flash. We're just going to do regular flash and reference that at 30 seconds and add that in. And we can see that if we scroll over, at 30 seconds it flashes our blinders. Again, if we want to make this a little bit longer flash, we can select and we can drag or use our wheels. Then we can go into our deselect our trigger by hitting clear. Let's say also on our cue list want to have Q6 fire before we get to the preload. So let's go ahead and we'll do it again. We'll do plus, go to Q, select our cue list, and we'll set our cue at Q6 and our time at, we'll do that at 30 seconds also, and set. I see there at 30 seconds, it'll go to Q6 on our cue list. So let's go ahead and start our time code. Actually, we'll go ahead and change this to SMPTE, and we'll start our time code coming in. Oh, and we'll need to turn our link on. And now we'll play it. And as we see, as we get to our cues, they fire. We can move our bar and zoom in as we need be able to see things better. We see here that our end time is set at 1 minute, but our cue keeps rolling. So if we go ahead and pause our time code from our source, and we go ahead and on our cue list here, we go and do the selections. There's our first cue in it. There's our second. There's this, the third. There's the fourth. We see that it ends here, but we want this to fade out at a certain time. So we go ahead and hit our plus button again, and we'll go ahead and set level. And we're going to do it on cue list 7. And we'll set our reference it at 1 minute and 10 seconds. And set its level at 0. And put it in. You now see that our cues end at 1 minute, 10 seconds. So if we close this view here, and we go ahead and we'll switch back to internal time code. We'll go ahead and start our internal time code. And we'll scroll back over. I'll make it scroll out just a little bit. And you can see our cue list has gone to Q6. And here it's going to preload everything that is in Q7. And then bring up our fader. go to Q7 and play through to 1 minute and 10 seconds. We can also always go ahead and we'll make this a little larger. We can also add new tracks. And of course, add playbacks to it. And we'll go ahead and add a new playback on this one again. And then we'll go ahead and go to our groups and palettes. And we'll select all these and give them a locate. And we'll put them here with this. And actually go to this workspace so we can see capture. Say that's what we like. We're happy with it. We'll do this actually and that. Perfect now. So we're going to go back to our timeline view. And we're going to put it here on track 2. I can see there, it added in for us. We can also add a wait for go so that we can have our timeline stop and wait until we hit the go button to continue on. This only works on internal time code. So if we go ahead and hit our add item button, and then we hit our wait for go, and let's see, we'll put it at 15 seconds. And we'll clear our programmer out from before. And now when we go ahead and start our time code, so everything plays back as expected. We've got our little pause symbol here at the 15-second mark. And when we get to there, we stop. We want to make sure we're connected to this. So we'll hit our connect Q key and our button here. And then we can hit go or hit pause/resume here. So we hit go. And as you see, it continues on the rest of our cues in our timeline. And again, we can also pause it from here if we need be, and resume. So that has been manual record. So that has been manual recording of timeline on version 15 of Titan. I hope you learned something. Join us on Facebook at Avolites US. Join us here next time. Please subscribe. Thanks. Bye.
Wheel stop.
Roger, wheel stop, Discovery. Welcome back. A great ending to the new beginning.